Hey guys, how's it going? So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a long-term review on my aunt's Stihl FS38 and my two Stihl trimmers, my FS56 and even my FS91. So with that being said, let's get going here. Alright, so we'll start here with the FS38. Now the FS38 is Stihl's entry-level trimmer. This is the low-end model. It features the Stihl's 27cc, the regular two-stroke engine, kind of like my BG55. Actually, this has the same engine as my 55. Since it's a lower-end model, it does have the manual on and off switch, so that's on, that's off, versus on those two they're just a kill switch, so you just hit that to shut it off and then it automatically goes back into the run position. And now this one here does not have Stihl's semi-automatic choke, it's just a manual choke, so as you can see it doesn't automatically go back down like the others, so you have to put it down like that. But for a lower end model, this is actually a really nice trimmer. And it's very light too. Weighs about 9 pounds, so it's very light. This would be a good option for somebody that doesn't have a whole lot of trimming, or has a property like this, for example, a smaller property. This would be perfect for that. Now Stihl does have the FS40, which has the same stratocharged engine as my 56, which is a curb shaft basically. So if you really want a curb shaft but you want a little more power, definitely look into the FS40. Now, anyway, this trimmer here does have the very basic head. I can't remember what this is called, but it's not the auto cut 25-2 like the others. And yeah, so it's pretty affordable for the price. These can be had for about 150 bucks, so that's pretty reasonable for what you get, and it's definitely a very reliable trimmer. The only problem with the FS38s that people find is the spark arrestor screen sometimes clogs up and needs to be cleaned. Like I know a lot of the handheld blowers from Stihl also have this issue. And also, this one here doesn't really use a lot of like plastic covering. What I mean by that is, on the other two, they have all this plastic kind of covering the carburetor and even covering the spark plug a little more. Whereas with this one here, the carburetor is exposed, and also the spark plug too, as you can see, is also exposed. And one other little issue I have is the on and off switch is not covered either. It's just out in the open, so that what could happen is dirt and debris can end up getting inside of it and potentially wear it out. I know John 3800 had that problem with his FS38 years ago, so that's just worth mentioning. But otherwise, this is actually a really good trimmer for what you get. And the air filter can actually be removed without any tools, which I really like that. Whereas on these two here, you have to undo some screws. Like this one here is a screw here, and that one has 2 screws there. So I wish Stihl would stick with this design. And also has a really good sized fuel tank too. I can't remember the size on top of my head, but I'll insert that here. So yeah, and I guess what I can do is start it up. So in order to start this one, you have to manually turn it on like that. So switch is on, choke, give it some primes. Okay, that should be good enough. And let me just put the camera down. So let me just put you down there. All right, and pull away. Oh, that's not so bad. One pull wonder. Come on. Choke. Give it some more primes. Come on. I think I may have flooded it. So there it is running. In here it's nice and quiet. Sweet. So the 38 is definitely a good trimmer for sure, even though it doesn't have all the bells and whistles, but not bad for a budget. All right, now for the FS56. All right, next one. This is a 2017 Stihl FS56RC. This is my trimmer, as I mentioned earlier, and I bought it in July of 2017, so I've had it for quite a while now, and I've used it commercially since I've had it, and it's been pretty well abused, as you can see, but it's held up very, very well. I'm very impressed with this machine. Now, there is also the FS70, which is the same engine as this, 27cc Strato charged engine, but it has a little more power than this, but otherwise it's the same machine. Like I mentioned, this has the 27cc Strato charged engine, which is a little more powerful than that engine. It's also called the 2-mix. So basically it has a little more power than the regular two strokes. For example, its predecessor, the FS55, which was the same machine as the 38, same engine, it just had a straight shaft. And also, this engine puts out about 5% more power than those. So yeah, this model features semi-automatic choke, so when you depress the throttle, automatically goes back into the run position. This one does not have that. Also, like I mentioned, the primer bulb in the carburetor is a little more covered compared to that, and also the spark plug too. And like I said, it's been a very nice trimmer. It's held up very well for commercial use, even though this is actually a homeowner model. Now this can be had for $200 at your Stihl dealer, and they do make good trimmers. I think this would be more appropriate if you had slightly bigger property, or if you're just starting out in lawn care. This would be a great starter trimmer, like it was for me. And also, this machine weighs 10 pounds, so it's really lightweight actually. So yeah. And also this one here has Stihl's AutoCut 25-2 head, which takes 0.095 string, and the string that I use is the heavy duty / ugly line. As you can see, it's I also run it here on this trimmer too. It's got that focus. It's got a triangle shaped. It's probably my favorite string out there. So yeah, I find it cuts really good. So I highly recommend this string. Anyway, here's a look at the engine. And now, like I said, you have to use a T27 screwdriver to take this out. Now, there is one con to the FS56, and that is the flex cable shaft, which means you can't put a blade on there. You would have to, if you were looking to do that, you would have to spend a little more money and get a machine with solid cable shaft like the 91, like I have over there. So yeah. And I think the fuel capacity on this one is 11 ounces, if I remember correctly. So yeah, great trimmer for sure. So I guess I can start it up for you. This will be a cold start. So choke, give it some primes for a good time. And now, since it has Stihl's easy to start system, it's very easy to pull. I'm actually going to start it like this. You can see that started pretty easily. And I'll show you that flex cable shaft. You can see how it's vibrating. Definitely a nice trimmer for sure. And like I mentioned earlier, they do have the FS40, which has the same engine as this, just in a curve shaft. So if you want a curve shaft, but you want the Stratocharge engine like this, then the FS40 is the one for you. So now for the FS91R. Alright, so now for the Stihl FS91R. Now this is a totally different animal compared to the other two. This machine has the 28cc 4-mix engine, so this is a 4-stroke, but it uses 2-stroke gas for lubrication. But other than that, it is a 4-stroke. So some similar features include semi-automatic choke, so when you depress the throttle, automatically goes back into the run position. Primer bulb up here. And also this one here has a nice comfortable rubber molded handle. The others do not. And also, one thing I did notice on this one though is the trigger is a little smaller, as you can see, compared to those. You can see this. You can see this one here is a lot bigger, and same with that. And now this one here has a has the same setup kind of as my 56 in the way that you don't have to turn it on. It's automatically on. You just do that and it shuts off. This one here is pretty much like that, but except it's an actual push button. So you just press it down like that and it shuts it off. And now this one here has an option for a shoulder strap. The 56 also has, you can also put a shoulder strap on it too, and same with the 38. They have the same setup. Whereas with this one here, it has that's separate from the handle. Those two are not. So yeah. And also this is also the R model too, which means that it has the looped handle versus the bike handle model. This handle here is also rubber molded, whereas with this one here it's not. It's just plastic, and same with that one. Now, unlike the 56, it has a solid cable shaft, which means you can put a blade on it. And also, like the 56, it uses the same head, the AutoCut 25-2, as you can see. Now, I noticed one thing between the 56 and the 91 is the 91 shaft is a tad longer than the 56, which I definitely like a lot better, because I've always that's always been my little dislike with the, I forgot to mention, but that's always been one dislike with the 56 is I always found the shaft was a little short until I got my Echo SRM 225. I found that shaft is longer, and this one, the 91's also longer too, so I'm not sure why I still decided to do that. But yeah, and also the 91R definitely has a lot more power compared to these. So what I'll do is I'll start this one up too and see how well it runs. Okay. Now just pop the camera down. Yeah, I'm sorry about this. It's kind of... Okay. So, let's see how well this one starts. Choke. You can hear this one has a slightly different sound compared to the other two. This one sounds like an ACV. Yeah, it sounds definitely a lot quieter than these. I love the way that Formic sounds too. It has a really nice sound. Also, this one here seems to have really good, it seems to be really responsive too at the throttle. And now, I'll show you you can see this one does not vibrate as much as the 56. So, yeah. And turn it off, just press down. That's how you shut that one off. So, which one do I recommend? Well, it depends what you're looking for. If you're just an average consumer that just wants a good, reliable trimmer, then the 38 is a good choice. If you're looking for a little more power, and you're starting lawn care, the 56 is definitely the one for you. And also, if you want more power, and you're starting to get into heavy duty work, then the 91's a good choice. Now, there's also two other models in the Formix line. There's the 111 and I think it's the 130R. They both use the same Formix engine. So yeah. But one thing about these is this one here is a little heavier compared to the others. I can't remember how much it weighs. I'll put that into the I'll put that here. So yeah. So all three very good models here. Stihl is, in my opinion, the way to go. It's what I've used for the last couple of years. So yeah. So that's all I got for today. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.